Hello, everyone. So today I just wanted to talk about purpose and connection. I've noticed that more and more people are feeling disconnected, feeling a lack of a sense of purpose. A lot of people are just going to work, going through the motions. Maybe they'll come home, eat, sleep, and then they'll rinse and repeat. I noticed that people are more disconnected now than ever with the advent of social media. Ironically, social media is meant to connect people, but I've noticed that it's making people more and more disconnected. I also noticed that mental illness is on the rise, and more people are having chronic health conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. So, how did we get here? The idea that more and more people are disconnected and are having no purpose. I think this is especially true in Western societies and in developed countries. I think the problem is that we've gotten so good at survival, and the problems that we are currently facing are problems that we've created for ourselves. In the past couple of hundreds of years, technology has advanced tremendously, and the Industrial Revolution has allowed us to travel to work faster, live in better houses, and also agriculture and manufacturing has allowed us to produce goods, services, and food more efficiently than we have ever in our lifetime or history. Also, the life expectancy has risen by a lot, and I think there's debate as to if the quality of life of people have gotten better, but the rates of infectious disease have certainly gone down overall, even in the midst of the COVID and flu epidemics. This is obviously due to the advent of vaccines and technology. So because people's lives have become so much more easy, this very fact is also causing some issues. So let me give you an example. During and after COVID, a lot of people worked from home, and as a result of this, they realized that it actually worked. And when the COVID quarantine finally ended, a lot of these people did not go back to work, but instead continued working from home. And as a result of this, these people no longer had the interactions and the natural occurrences of meeting people that they once did in the past. And because people are feeling so disconnected, a lot of people are turning to working even harder to try to stand out, to try to work more. A lot of people are turning to early retirement to try to achieve financial freedom so that they will finally be happy. And as you can imagine, it never works. And you've probably heard of stories where those that retire are actually very depressed and they have a shorter lifespan and life expectancy after they retire. And a lot of them actually end up coming back to work because they don't have anything to do and they feel this emptiness. A lot of people try to be significant and try to stand out by either working really hard at a craft, or they might try to become famous. And a lot of this is due to their seeking of validation because they might feel empty or disconnected. I just want to highlight that there are still some countries out there that are underdeveloped. I'm thinking of countries in areas such as Southeast Asia and Africa, where a lot of people still live in villages and communities, and they might not need to go very far to see their neighbor, or they might just wake up and walk out the door and see people. I just got back from Italy a few weeks ago, and ironically, I lost weight even though I was eating pasta, pizza, gelato, and all of these foods that are high in calories and carbohydrates. And I lost weight because I was walking around so much. I also didn't see a lot of gyms in the area or in the country. You don't see a yoga studio or a CrossFit on every corner because they just don't need it. I was looking around and I didn't see a lot of obese people at all. It just goes to show how different countries have different values and different developmental time frames. So the solution to redefining and reinvigorating our purposes are to, first of all, avoid addictions. This includes excess use of social media and news. It also includes avoiding self-numbing and excessive indulgences in food and other things such as video games and movies. Other things to avoid include drugs and alcohol, among other things. I think it's also important to avoid seeking validation through certain achievements, seeking fame, and even having a certain body type. And lastly, it's important to live a life that is true and genuine to oneself. So as we face this epidemic of mental illness, disconnection, and people having a lack of purpose, I think it's important to know that this is the problem that we have to solve going forward. But when you really think about it, I think we've already found the solution. Actually, the solution is what we used to be. We used to greet our neighbors, talk to the waitress. We used to connect with the person that we're sitting next to on the plane and not have our heads buried in our phones at train stations. I think that rebuilding our connection to others involves something as simple as a simple smile or hello to a neighbor, visiting your mom rather than texting or even calling her, and to love, connect, and care about others in a genuine way, because feelings are more important than actions. If you're doing an action just to do it without having that feeling, it's not going to lead you to anywhere. If you're just doing that action so that it will elicit a specific response, that's also not going to lead you anywhere. It starts with the feeling of love towards others, and your actions will follow accordingly. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.